We're back to break down Boys Wade Sensei.
Boys.
A little bit of basketball talk in this episode. We're bouncing around with our sports talk, but we like doing these debates. And a new one just dropped, Sensei. First off, we just off camera watched the video of KG talking about new age basketball and how they wouldn't have survived 20 years ago. Quickly, we don't have to go into the full deal here. Do you think he's right? And that 20 years ago, the way the game was played, the new generation would struggle.
A little bit. I think it's twofold.
Yeah.
I think what he's saying is a little overrated. They would struggle definitely with certain things, but certain things they would excel because the game is focused differently now. So I think the old game wouldn't be used to that. Like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
But I think they would struggle more than they think.
So
I think they would be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think that old school basketball is. Yeah, old school basketball, and not even old school. 20 years ago is 2000, which is crazy. But it's getting a better rap, I feel like, especially after watching the Olympics and the way the Olympics were played. I think a lot of people were very invested in the style of play, the pace of the play, and physicality, all that. I would really wish that would come to the NBA. But the big question on everybody's mind today, Sensei, is one Swaggy P, former influencer boxer, but also former NBA player. He put this out on Twitter today. Kyrie is the Kobe to Curry MJ. Like, Kyrie is Kobe, Curry's MJ. People scared to say he's better. So essentially, in Swaggy P's eyes, Kobe was better than Mike, and Kyrie is better than Curry. Your thoughts?
He's wrong on both.
Okay. Why?
Wrong on both.
As a basketball player, why is Steph Curry better than Kyrie Irving? As an individual basketball player.
Because he's the greatest ever at the thing that's one of the most important things to do, which is to put the basketball in the hole. And
this is your MJ argument.
They added this thing called the 3-point line. So the most amount of points you can get on a shot, there's one guy who is way better than everybody else at it. Now, it also just so happens that he has some of the best cardio ever.
Yep.
The dude runs like 8 miles a game, essentially.
Yep.
The range obviously is crazy. We talk, as a shooter, free throw line, also an underrated passer. Also, balls in the string, handle is crazy. Also, one of the craziest finger rolls you'll ever see. And his floater game is insane. So it's not just like he's just a shooter like you look at like Kyle Korver or guys who are like just a specialist.
Just specifically a shooter. Or even a Klay Thompson like that.
Right. The guy's got a handle. He can get his own shot, step back, sidestep. It's not just like catch and shoot, set shot, needs to be open.
Right.
It's not a guy that you need to create a shot for him. He can get his own shot at any time, as we can see. Right shoulder, left shoulder, running to the left, running to the right, anywhere, anyhow. Okay, so it's not just like he's just a shooter.
Right.
The dude's a hooper, and also happens to just be automatic from range. And it's translated to being a champion. Now, you can argue either championships or whatever, but the dude's unanimous MVP, one of the greatest things to ever watch when you're talking about that 2016. We're talking about the dude has like the ability to when the ultimate green light.
Yeah.
No one has ever had the green light like him. Ever.
Now, I will say that he got outplayed in that finals by one Kyrie Irving. And I think that what people are holding on to is the fact that in that moment, and I mean multiple kind of ways I mean moment. Moment meaning Game 7, spot up, hezzy, outside dribble, bang. Right over Steph for the 3, for the lead, the defining shot, right? And also the entirety of the series. But let's put into context what we're talking about here. Because I agree with you. This isn't even a debate to me. There's something interesting that I want to talk about coming out of this, but this isn't even a debate to me. Steph Curry has every accolade you could provide of one of the greatest point guards ever. Kyrie Irving, whether you want to say he is not utilized correctly on a team, is not ever been in a great situation for him as a player, he's been in a lot of different situations. He's played with some really great players and has failed to shine to the level Steph Curry has at all ever. Like you said, unanimous MVP, 11-time All-Star, even though I'm not big on doing the whole All-Star thing. But the 3-point numbers, the assist numbers, the ability for, like you said, for him to create his own shot. Kyrie can do the same. We're not acting like he can't. But also have that 3-point bag that he has on top of that. Now, what you could say that Steph Curry's defense maybe doesn't jump off the page to you.
Yeah, neither does Kyrie's, though.
Exactly.
Wash.
I would say Kyrie may be a slightly better defender based on their one-on-one interaction in the finals. But outside of that,
Steph has always had great steal numbers. So
there you go. The bigger question to me, because I'm not even going to entertain this as a debate. I don't like Kyrie may have a slightly better. I wouldn't say slightly. He's got a better handle, for sure. Yeah. And I would say his under the rim finishing is the best in the league. Like when Kyrie is close to the rim, dude, that's going in, and you're probably fouling him. And he's hanging in the air for what looks like 17 seconds and somehow still getting the shot off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's so much better that you're just like, oh, take the accolades aside, Kyrie one-on-one Steph, he's cooking. I don't think that. And it shouldn't even be that as a debate, a one-on-one thing. It shouldn't even be that. It's basketball is a team sport. But my interesting point in this is, someone said it online, what is with former players in the NBA and having wildly different like takes that people that are fans don't have? What is that? Why do you think that is? Like,
bro, because they're a player, they're in it. It's different for them. You know what I'm saying? They see the game through the way they play it, right? So you have a guy who's a hooper, the way he plays the game, maybe he sees the game differently as a scorer, and he thinks that he weighs, one skill set more than the other. And also, I don't think that players look at the game the same way as we do because we're fans. So they look at like the league as players, that's their peers.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to see everyone be closer. Because to be honest, I will say this. Players are a lot closer than we probably think in skill set.
If you put like
in his performance, you know what I mean? Like, because I think that I will say that probably Kyrie is closer to Steph than most people think he is, because the numbers don't tell the whole story. I think Kyrie is closer to Steph.
I would ask you this: what situation would you have to put Kyrie in for him to be? Would you have to put him at Golden State for him to show like Steph did? You know what I'm saying?
They're a completely different kind of players.
They're different players. Is the thing. It's like, how do you compare better when they don't play the same style, right?
Here's the thing: Kyrie's a bucket getter, and I think people they make the comparison to Kobe. Because Kobe and Kyrie, and this is a big difference, like when you talk about MJ and Kobe, but whatever. Kyrie is a great scorer, but doesn't have the same gravity to the whole defense that Steph has.
For sure.
So, Kyrie can score the ball even if he doesn't get around you, even if he doesn't beat you to the basket. Even if if you're just one-on-one and you're playing good defense.
He's the Habib of basketball. You stop one thing, he's going to chain to the next, to the next, to the next. You could stop it all, and he still has better offense.
So the thing is, often he doesn't even break down it's not like he's breaking down the defense. He's just, the guy in front of him
he's
is
breaking down
good
that
defense,
guy, and he's trying.
He's just making a better shot over really good defense. And Kobe was like that, too. It wasn't like he would get to a shot, I'm just going to just do my fader over you.
Don't matter, yeah.
I don't even have to break down the defense.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have to score at a high enough clip in order to create a double team, right? So now you have some gravity, and now you are affecting the defense. But Kyrie was that guy, like, okay, let's see, what is he scoring? Like, it was obviously still now so flashy and so unique, but he's doing it like against the defender that's on him.
Yeah.
Right? And he makes it look very complicated, which shows his skill set.
Yep.
Right? But he has like the unlimited number of 1,000 counter moves to 1,000 counter moves.
Yep.
But some guys don't need that. Because Steph Curry, his one shot that he has, right?
Bang.
Has so much gravity.
Yep.
That if he's running off a screen off ball, two guys will run to him if they feel like they're not going to switch on time. Guys wide open. Then maybe they're not doing that to Kyrie as much. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Then Steph, if he pump fakes, he don't need 1,000 counter moves. He has his jump shot. He doesn't need a pump. He's just gonna set his feet like he's gonna launch it.
Yep.
And you running out there. Then he's gone. His handle's tightened up. Now he got a little floater. He could pull up from midi. Now all of a sudden he's passing. Guess what? As soon as he passes it, boom, he's relocating. They're still
scrambling. Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah. John Mayer style.
As a guard, as a point guard, I will say, No one has ever had that kind of gravity.
Yeah.
Not even someone like Magic, because Magic was a 6'9". He was like a big man in a point guard.
He also
position.
had Kareem in that same freaking.
He had Kareem, which also had a lot of gravity.
You want to talk about gravity?
Again, not just dominating the game, like in terms of being able to break down the defense, but he put pressure on it with his physicality as a point guard.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a different kind of game. But Steph,
you want to talk about Steph's gravity?
As soon as he steps over the line, right, 94 feet, you got to guard him. As soon as he steps over, he has the ultimate green light. So the kind of pressure that he puts on automatically, that outweighs Kyrie's moves that he needs, because the amount of energy Kyrie's got to output and the amount of difficult shot he needs to make just to be as efficient or effective as Steph Curry is crazy. Like, if Steph just is anywhere near, like, if he just doesn't absolutely just, crap the bed, if he shoots like a good percentage, the pressure on the defense is crazy.
The amount of gravity, and you used this in the Michael Jordan debate, and I think it's better used here, because the reactions that Steph gets like you said, as a point guard are insane. You want to know the easiest test case to prove it is watch what happened when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, and the amount of open Kevin Durant was for one of the first times in his career.
You forgot about him.
Bro, Steph took so much attention away, and rightfully so. It's Steph. But KD was getting one-on-ones probably the first time ever since he was a young, maybe year 1, year 2 guy.
Yeah.
And he was taking advantage of it, fair play. And then you saw, and granted, he had the ankle injury, whatever, but you've seen since then, KD has not had that same success.
No.
Because he doesn't have, it's not the only reason, but there's a big part of that.
A similar guy, Kobe, Kyrie, KD.
Yeah.
A guy that obviously when he was younger, the gravity was crazy. You had to pull, right?
You had to.
But now it's like he's still going to score. He's going to get his.
You're like, cool.
But your defense you can keep him in front of you. He's still going to score and get his.
It's a great
You're going to make it, but he has to do it, right? And Kobe as a scorer would run into some issues because that's like his game would be like that, right? He might over dribble or he's going to force some shots.
The ball will stop.
But
the ball will stop.
Right. So it was like, and it wasn't the same kind of like his ability to get to the basket and play above the rim wasn't the same as MJ. So he didn't put the same kind of pressure on the rim in the paint that MJ did. So it just wasn't like at MJ's peak. It was that part of it wasn't the same, which was the major part of MJ's game that people forget about because they see the fadeaway and they see the stuff like that. And I'm like,
And also the thing you've talked about this pretty, I think, accurately, and it makes the most sense for why you point to Steph too. There hasn't been a point guard that dominated the game like that since in the way he does it and leading a team to a championship the way he does it. Like you've talked about it. Usually, historically, you better have a dominant big down there. At least somebody that's able to protect the rim and be a force, right? Doesn't have to be offensive dominance. Most times that's a good idea. But like, the early 2000s Pistons didn't have a dominant offensive big, but Big Ben Wallace was down there, and you're going to have to see him.
Oh, they had Ben and Sheed, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to see them.
They're not getting bullied.
Steph doesn't have that.
They're bullying people.
He doesn't have that luxury. And granted, they've done that to cater to Steph, play small, run, be high pace, all that. But he still has to go out and prove why they're doing that right.
Yeah.
And he does, and he did. Multiple times. Granted, KD was there, but still, even when he wasn't, and Steph got that chip, that was a big fucking deal, man.
And 2022, too.
In 2022. It's a big deal. So, I don't think that the debate is even, and I love Kyrie, and I think you do too, but it's like, bro, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Kyrie will go down as a great player, but he won't go down as the greatest point guard ever. And then Steph is probably
and
going
one of
to
the most, again, one of the most skilled ever. And when you talk about counter moves for days, but it's like it's one of those things like you have a bunch of counter moves, but
I'll ask you this:
do you need those counter moves because you don't have that big knockout punch? You know what I'm saying?
100%. Who is Kyrie going to go down as in your mind? Who are you going to compare him to when it's all said and done, right? Because Steph won't have a comparison. Steph will be the comparison for the future generations.
Yeah.
You won't have one. But when I look at Kyrie, I'm going to look back and I'm going to think, great player, but like, I don't know. Who am I going to compare him to that I'm like?
Similar to me, like AI.
Like, very aesthetically pleasing, like, style of play. He's got swagger. He has an ability, like
bucket,
you said,
essentially unstoppable.
a walking
it's like the only
bucket.
person that stop him is him, his injury, or
Right.
let's say he's off on a certain night.
Right.
But he's got moves for days.
AI is
and
a good shout. AI is a great shout. I like that.
Like pound for pound.
But here's the question: Do you put AI as one? Do you put AI in the category of greatest point guard ever? How many times do you hear AI brought up?
No, because he didn't even play the game like that as a point guard. He
right.
was just combo guard.
Even as a combo guard, though, you have to then include him with the two guards.
Crazy gravity too that he played from elbow in is crazy as a point. He
was nasty. He was absolutely nasty. And by the way,
you
you have to give him his credit. He did have Dikembe down there, but he did lead a team to the finals.
Oh yeah,
that's a big deal. As a point guard, and again, we talk about this. This doesn't happen a lot. The center of your team being that combo point guard guy.
And you want to know why? It wasn't his skill set that allowed him to do that. It was his athleticism, because he was able to put pressure on a defense.
Even as a smaller guy.
Even because his pure blazing speed, dude.
So quick.
Your defense, like with Kyrie, I feel like this, right? Kyrie crosses over half court. He has the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like before he's going to put pressure on you as a defense, he has to get into his back.
Right. He's got to start the momentum and he's going to give you time to adjust to what's going on here.
AI, Derrick Rose type deal.
Oh, Derrick Rose.
As soon as they cross over, like I put them in the same kind of breath, but as soon as they cross over, it's like, oh, dude, it's about to be a blur.
Do you think
they can get to anywhere on the floor, right? So I put a different kind of pressure just with pure athleticism without having to get into so many moves.
Yeah.
Right. And Steph, it was not with his athleticism, but as soon as he crossed over with his shot, and also Kyrie and Steph without the ball,
it's not even close. Not even close.
With gravity, so it's not even close. So we're talking about Steph without the basketball. The basketball's over here. Still,
he's dangerous everywhere.
Right, and which
all eyes on him. Draymond standing there with the ball at the top of the key. You're wondering where 30 is, dude.
2016. I forget who was the commentator who said it. He goes, it was obviously someone who was in the 90s. Because I haven't seen or felt this since I watched MJ.
Yeah.
And he goes, Kobe at times, during his very peak when he was going crazy, where it didn't matter if he had the ball or not. All you were doing was watching him.
Where's he at on the floor?
Even off the ball, the gravity was there. As a spectator, like every shot they took, you thought was going to go in.
Dude, that's been the biggest thing for Steph. Like, there's not been a guy I've ever seen. I was so young. Obviously, you were too when MJ was doing his thing. But when you look back, you can understand why people went. When MJ shot a ball, you thought it was going in, especially in the clutch.
Yeah.
When for us, I will not even hesitate to admit when LeBron shoots a late shot, I'm not thinking that bitch is going in. I'm thinking it may.
No.
But it probably it's not like a guarantee.
You're like, don't do a heat check.
Oh yeah, when he pulls from long, when 5 seconds he could drive.
You're like, please.
When Steph, the thing with Steph is please don't let him have the ball. That's the thing. You as a guy that I'm a LeBron fan. I'm watching Cleveland,
right.
Whoever. I'm like, don't let 30 touch that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
LeBron
Kobe was like that too. Kobe's
100%.
Peak, when he was 81, when he was going 50, like you.
When I was on the court yesterday, I was by myself. I was doing the freaking 2008 half court jump ball against the Suns, where he catches it and goes cross court, inside out dribble at the elbow.
You just
knew that shit was going in.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the shirt. I have
Kyrie is Kyrie as a scorer.
He's like that.
He is like that, but the gravity's just not the same,
but
and that's why
we're talking. The entirety of the game.
Trouble as a playmaker,
you better know where Kyrie is late. I'll say that. You better know where he's at late.
Oh, because once the ball's in his hand again,
but it's not the same for the
player.
90. Yeah.
No, and off ball, and he's just like lurking around, like eyes on him.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, like Steph can at any point, if you give him a sliver of space, the margin of error. With Kyrie again. He's going to get the ball.
Once he has it, you're in trouble. But before that,
you're going to start it. You're going to start his dribble. I feel like you can settle your feet.
Yeah.
It's just not the same kind of fear. Even though you know he's going to score, as a defender, I feel like the pressure. It's not the same kind of pressure. And the
question
urgency.
for you. You talked about Derrick Rose, and I was like, oh, shit, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
With maybe not D Rose, because D Rose had it all, man. He was talented.
Yeah.
Unfortunate injury, obviously, for him. If Russell Westbrook had a better mid-range game, like a better, You know what I'm saying? I want to say Kyrie level because that's just asking. That's the perfect player. But
He
like,
had a really good one.
he had a very explosive one. But there were times where it left him.
Knockdown.
There were times where it left him. You know?
Yeah.
And then as his career went on, it was situational basketball. He wasn't able to be Russ as much as he was early on. But you want to talk about first step? See ya. Good Lord. It was like a lightning bolt watching him play.
Yeah. Again, he put pressure.
Which is funny. We talk about KD getting looks and stuff. We forget that Russ was just a fireball early there too.
Yeah, it definitely helped. But the thing with Russ is that he only plays one speed and is full speed.
Yeah.
So it's like what you're gonna get. So you can't you can't lull the defense to sleep.
You're not surprising anybody for sure.
No, and he's gonna get a couple charges a game. And also you're like, I don't know, like obviously like early to mid career, like you worried about like him actually like dunking the ball, like
cramming that thing, dude.
Above the rim, point guard, crazy. Absolutely insane.
Bro, you saw the one he hit Andre Drummond with?
Slowdown. Oh yeah, bro.
No, but his slowdown was either he's at the rim or he's stopping on a dime and pulling up.
Right, but you felt like he's the type of guy that you watch someone like on an open fast break, they're gonna miss the layup. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're going too fast.
Oh yeah, there was points where you're like, this is 50-50, bro. If Russ doesn't get up on the rim, it's 50-50.
And his efficiency showed it just dwindled his efficiency because even everything is rushed, everything is too fast. His jump shot, his pull up, his 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? He would hit clutch shots because he's not afraid to take them. But he was so wild and chaotic that you knew that he was going to get in his own way.
Yeah, facts.
So he didn't like obviously at his peak he put a lot of fear. But I feel like guys just didn't fear him because he was just like he was a football player.
This is the explosion you're talking about. Just boom, gone. But that's also the problem. He gets in positions where he's like, I just got to get rid of it,
Yeah, like you just know
then,
you have a
oh my God, bro. Don Maker, where are you at, buddy? After he tore his meniscus too, which is crazy. And this is one of my favorite ones.
As a point guard,
look at this shit. Like, young Russ, bro. Oh, Hezzy, get out of my way, dude. Oh my God, he's fucking fired up too.
Insane,
bro. This face would terrify people. That is just pure emotion, son. But I know what you're saying.
He wasn't. He essentially played like a 2. He had a Kobe mentality as like a shooting guard. That's why it was tough for KD when you're supposed to be the floor general.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
So it's just
average a triple double for a season. Fair play to him. But yeah, no. The debate
1,000
is
miles an hour.
Yeah, facts. The debate is silly to me. Steph is by far. I shouldn't say by far, but he's a better basketball player. And again, the word you've used it, the gravity of what he is, it isn't situational either. He could do this on any team.
Melo.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce.
You think Paul Pierce belongs in the same convo as Melo?
Yeah, Kyrie, you could definitely put him in there.
I think
One-on-one scorer.
I think so.
Bucket getter.
Paul Pierce gets left out a lot, man, because of the way. I don't know if it's like after his career, the whole media stuff, him getting caught with strippers on live, shaking ass and getting fired from ESPN.
It's like the post, him on the mic ruined it.
For sure.
Like, get him off TV, dude.
For sure. But
he was
ice cold, a dog, man, in his day. The elbow, if you had Paul Pierce, the elbow extended.
Game every year, always in the East, dude, with guards. There was guards like crazy in the East. You had T-Mac, you had Vince.
You know what it is?
You
know what it is? The problem with Paul Pierce is he compares himself to Kobe and LeBron.
Oh yeah, he's like, I had a better career than Wade. Like he's
and D Wade and it's like you're up there, but you're like that tier
and
below.
He's like, dude, I made LeBron leave.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the reason.
I'm a Boston fan. I was there when he won, and I'm like.
And by the way, Paul had great series. Paul was busting ass too. He was dropping 40 and doing the whole deal. Like it wasn't like he was a bad player, but
bucket, ice cold in his vein, 3-point shot. His pump fake, his ability to get to under the rim.
Because Paul was not money. This is what you're talking about. Paul was not an athletic specimen like that.
No, didn't put pressure, but he was. But
again, the Kyrie comparison makes sense.
He's gonna get to 30 on you.
That's what I'm saying. The Kyrie comparison makes sense.
Some nice 40. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The style of play is Melo. Same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Melo younger, but people were like, okay, you can deal with Melo's 35 or his 30 or whatever.
Yeah, that
like,
was Melo's whole career. Like Melo's going to get 35, but you can deal with that and still win a playoff series and whatever.
I guess when I talk about pressure is like these type of players put pressure on the defender that was in front of them. Yeah. Whereas like guys like Steph and MJ and Kobe Kobe's different. That's different, whatever. But those Kobe and Steph and MJ, they were talking about putting pressure on the entire defense.
Everybody got eyes on you, dude, at all times.
Right? Because Melo's just gonna
step you. You could be right in my face, cash, bro.
Right. So he put a lot of pressure on the rim. Melo did. Obviously, these guys in their prime, they all put pressure on the whole defense. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about throughout their career.
No, you're making
at
sense.
Their best.
You're making
that
sense.
was the different style player.
You're making sense. But folks, let us know what you think in the comments below. Is Kyrie Irving better than Steph Curry? We think it's blasphemous. But listen, we don't have those answers. So, guess we'll find out.